How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is the What's Up Eddie channel, Divine Therapy Sessions. I am Eddie. So glad to have you guys back, and these are my Divine Therapy Sessions. Hey guys, today I got some pretty cool subjects. So I'm going to talk about a couple of things. So one is Reiki. I'm going to talk about Reiki, how I've been using it. I'm not certified. I don't have I haven't been attuned or anything like that yet. All I've done is I go off. So this is usually how I learn. Let me fix the camera real quick. This is how I learn. So I believe that so the way that I get taught is with my guides, right? They send me information and then I have to decipher it. After I decipher it, then I go about the processes of studying, right? And a lot of it is like going into meditative states and then asking the questions that I need and then getting the answers from those states. And I know it's hard to believe, but it works and it happens. And it's a language that's difficult to understand at first, but when you start to open up, and I believe when you open yourself up to it, you will get this type of you'll have this type of language with the other side. And okay, so like I said, I'm not attuned. The way that I learned about Reiki is I read about it, right? And then I went off of intuition. I go off of what I think. So, and what I think is like more of the intuitive side. So I've been with, or like I've had relationships where people, I've heard people talk about it before, and just from and then I go off of like back stuff of how I've been exposed to it. So this is what I mean. So this is like multiple parts to this, what I'm trying to tell you. And I think the reason why I'm saying this is because you might be out there and you're in the spiritual awakening process and you're trying to learn and you're trying to decipher what everything means. And it's a difficult process, and it's hard to travel. I know it is, because I had difficulties in the beginning. Okay, so I had been exposed to Reiki before. So look, you guys, I think a lot of the times we get caught into the ideas of words, right? I do believe words mean a lot, and I'm going to teach you that during this process. This is a very a dense subject, and I have multiple moving parts in this subject matter. So this is how I infuse Reiki with my eating habits, my drinking habits, the words that come out of my mouth. I use this, you guys, for multiple reasons. And just an overall, you guys want to be around for this. This is gonna help you. This changed the way that I look. Now, you're probably like, how the heck is that possible? Well, you could physically change the way you look by working out, can you not? I'm telling you, you could do it with your words. You can do it with infusing Reiki. Everything's intentional. It's how you intend on what to happen. So know that everything is a creation of your mind. So you can create anything in this mindset. Okay, so getting back to, I'm going to get into those subjects, but I think this is going to be a 3-part video. I'm going to show you each modality that I use and how to do it exactly, and how to put yourself into that state. I'm going to get into some big detail, but this is just kind of like the overall. And also, I want to open my mind up to you so you can see this is a different way of thinking, right? This is I don't know if others out there, I haven't heard anyone think like this. But when I do say it, I do know that people are like, whoa, that's kind of like, dude, I like that. You know what I mean? But, so I figure, start letting some of this stuff out so you guys can get a better depiction of how I go about my processes. Okay. So check it out. We all get, so when this is how it works. You do have your preconceived notions of any subject, right? So when I first heard about Reiki, it wasn't Reiki. And you guys, just because Reiki, someone's labeled Reiki as a name, right? The founder, I don't know what his name is. I forget his name, but it doesn't matter. What I'm saying is this man he went, okay, so just knowing his story, he went to go, he went on a meditative state for 21 days. But he tried to do schooling because he wanted to learn about this healing modality, or this healing through energy, right? And he knew it existed because of other ideas of it, right? Buddha, Jesus. So he said, why aren't people healing the body, right? And so he went on a meditative state and he opened himself up to this process. And the way that the story's told is that a beam of light came to him, hit him in the forehead, and then he was able to understand the language that he needed to enable to do this, right? And he was able to heal with his hands. And so I thought that was an interesting, when I first heard it, I was like, oh wow, that's a really cool story. And I was like, and obviously if it's true, you know what I mean? Because the people are Reiki masters, there's practitioners. I believe in it. I haven't received a healing, but I've done it to myself, right? Whether you're attuned or not, I believe that you can still do this. So check this out. I've been exposed to it before because of the teachings of Jesus Christ, right? So like I've already had an idea of it. And I've heard, like through reading about Buddha believed in this as well. And Buddha is just, his name wasn't actually Buddha. Being a Buddha is it's like a title, you know what I mean? But like there is like the famous Buddha, you know what I'm saying? But okay, so this is what I always, you don't want to get too attached. Like I said, I know that we like label, man. I love labels too, man. I know. We get into these labeling and so that's what I'm saying. It's like, it has to be Reiki, but there's different versions of Reiki, right? Because it's all energy at the end of the day. If everything is energy, that means that energy is accessible to anybody. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I know, like for myself, I'm like, wow, I don't know if I could ever be a Reiki master. And look at the words that just came out of my mouth, right? Like you don't want to say things like that because you make that definitive, because you just released that energetic power to the world. And I always say is that, like, as people, we are the strongest force. You are, look how dense you are. Look how intricate and beautifully made. There is so much energy that's in a human. So whatever you're saying, you guys, you're making it a reality. And that's a huge, huge concept. If you know that one concept and followed that 100%, your life wouldn't look the same way, because you would be conscientious. You would, without knowing, you would be using multiple platforms in the daily process. But like I'm telling you guys, it's really difficult when you start getting conscientious of what you're saying. It's monotonous. It really is, and it's difficult sometimes. So check it out. Where was I? I think I was talking about, oh yeah, so not getting caught too much on labeling, because there's different versions of Reiki. So I believe that, like, you don't have to learn it another way another person has learned it, right? Like if you're still doing the same thing, if you can tap into the same energy, it's still the same thing, right? So don't get caught up in labels. All right, so for me, what I like to do, and what I think that like my guides want from me, and I call them guides, right? These are I feel like there's beings on the other side that are helping us. They're aiding us. They want humanity to be raised up in vibration. So where was I? Yeah, that's what this whole new age is, you guys. It's like this is like a golden age. It's like Aquarian age. This age is where everything changes. This is why there's a great awakening. There's a great awakening. Those people are meant to change the platform that we're living on, because the old way isn't working, and we need to be in this new place. And if we don't follow it, you're gonna fall off. That's just the way it works, right? But the way that I learned that there's a process to it, I get the subject, I meditate on the subject, and then I think about what I would do in the process, right? And then I read about the process, right? Like I actually read about what Reiki is, where it came from, what are the ideals, what are the rituals, what do they actually do, right? And so I like to do that process because you guys, a lot of the times, and you'll start to figure out the reason why I have such a strong intuition. I was blessed with it. I'm naturally gifted at it. But with anything, it takes work. You have to put work behind it. You have to put energy behind it, right? So for me, I try to utilize my intuition in everything that I do. And that's why it's so darn strong. You have to, well, you don't have to, but you got to do this. And this is how you develop your intuition as well. For me, I guess in my head, I'll meditate, guess on what do I feel like will happen if I do this, this, and this. And so I already have my preconceived notions before I go into it. And you know, the funny thing is, you guys, it's like the relationship that I was in, she was actually doing the schooling, and she started talking about it, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I started, I was like, oh, that's because of this, this, and this, right? Like, so I was taking the words out of her mouth, and she's like, wait, have you ever studied this? And I was like, no. I was like, I intuitively know. And she's like, how's that possible? And I was like, it's because when you start opening your mind, you open it up to it opens yourself up to everything. If everything is an energetic channel, if everything is energetic at the end of the day, you can open your mind up to that space, right? That knowledge, that infinite wisdom is there for you at all times. That's why I'm saying, you guys, if you get to that place, that's what I'm saying, that like there's like this, I forget what it's called, but there are people that actually go into this, I want to say it's like a channeling or a meditative state where they're like, they take on like the energy of Einstein or the energy of Mozart or Beethoven, and they're able to play just like Beethoven for like 45 minutes to an hour or whatever. So if you can literally tap into those processes, that means that we're all, so like if you can tap into Beethoven or Mozart or Einstein, what does that tell us? That the energy never dies and that the energy is always there. That's why that tells us this, that we always, okay, so that Einstein isn't dead. His body, his vessel might have passed, but his energetic body is always alive. And that he's not just one person. He's all of us. We're all collectively the same. He just manifested into that one man who was grand. He was beautiful. He had a beautiful incarnation, right? So you think about it like this, you guys. If we can tap into his energy, you can tap into Eddie's energy. I can tap into your energy, right? It's universal. That's why it's like, don't place yourself in a box. You're only held back by your own limitations at the end of the day. If you open up and you start thinking about things differently, you'll start to realize that like the information is already within you. I know it sounds like a cheesy thing to say, but it's not. I believe in it 100%. I believe we'll get to a point, or you think about it like this, you guys. You see, this is like, I'm starting to channel right now. You see, I remember watching this episode of people, not episode, but a series on people with autism and or Asperger's, and one of they have like supernatural gifts. There's this man who will read backwards and reads he reads the whole book within like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And I'm talking about, it would take a normal human being, it would take me like 5 days. You know what I mean? Or 10 days, or sometimes a month, depending on, because I'm so distracted, right? But this guy reads the whole thing, and then you ask him anything in there, and he can literally visualize it and tell you word for word what it is, details, exact dates, and he'll never forget it. You guys, what does that tell us? If people on planet Earth can do that, all of us can do that. All of us. It's a part of his mind is either turned off or turned on all the way. You think about it like this, the brain waves, they most likely don't work the same way. That's why it's like a give and take. It's a beautiful relationship, right? You see if some part of it's turned up too high, that's why the brain, we don't understand it completely, because it's way beyond our understanding. It's infinite. So I'm channeling this right now, but I believe that like if one part of it's way too turned up, there's another part that's turned down. It has to equalize. Everything is in equal balance, right? Everything is, so there's a left side of the brain and the right side of the brain, right? So if you turn one up all the way, one has to be turned down. Why is that? Where is that coming from? That comes from a universal law, right? That's a law so everyone has to obey by that, whether that's in the universe. That's way beyond planet Earth, right? That there's always an equal give and take. If you hit one side, it's going to come back. There's a pendulum to it, right? There's rhythms. There's an equal opposite reaction to what you do. You hit one part of it, it's coming back and hitting you the same with the same amount of force. That tells you with anything in any process, it works the same way, right? All right, so if he's turned on, so like, look at that's the brain waves, right? I believe that we can tap into those things. So I believe that we can get to a place where you can just touch that book, and that knowledge could be in your head. We'll get to the place where our brains are more developed, where we can digest that knowledge without actually reading it. It's not necessary, because that knowledge is already in the ethers. It's already within the one mind. If you tap into the one mind, that one mind can give you whatever it is that you need. All you need to do is make the intention and ask for it. You know, that's why I say it's like, I don't want to take away from Creator, right? I love God. I love my relationship with the Lord, man. I really do. But if you think about it, everything is an intention behind it. I know that there's something on the other side. I've seen it with my eyes, with the two eyes. I'm not talking about my third eye. The third eye, yes. So I know that it exists. I have a knowledge more than the regular person, because I've been exposed to it. I don't see it all the time, but I've seen it. So I know it exists, right? And so my belief system is going to make me believe that anyways, because I've seen it, right? So all of it is energetic at the end of the day, and you can tap into anything like that. And so that's how I learn. My process is, and I believe too, it's like when I do my meditative state and what I believe Reiki is, and then all those ideas shoot in, and then I actually read about it. It's fascinating how close you can get to what that subject matter is. And also, I read about Reiki, and then from there, I said to myself, okay, I resonate with this, I don't resonate with that. I resonate with this, and then I'll change it into my own version, because that's what you're supposed to do anyways. I don't believe that you have to do it the way that another person says to do it. Now, that might be the oppositional person in me. I don't know. And I don't mean oppositional in the way that like everything has to be oppositional, right? But I believe that like, if it feels good to you, you should do that within high vibrations. Don't take my words and utilize it to do bad things to people. Don't do that. I'm talking about high vibrational things. And when I mean high vibrational, that means a place where you've done the work inside, the trauma work, where you're not in a place of lack where you have to hurt another person. This is a place of upliftment. I don't say this stuff to show off. I don't say this stuff to make myself feel better. I do this because I know that it's going to help. I've been told by my guides that by doing this work, and the people that are awakening right now, they need to hear me say it. I may not have the audience that I want yet, but that audience is coming. I've made a space in this platform for people to come and watch and learn. And it's a beautiful place to be at, because I've given the other side the opportunity to pull the strings to get here, right? They know now, hey, Eddie SOTELO is making videos about the Great Awakening, about where he's at in his enlightenment or in his ascension process. Other people can follow what he's doing because he's putting it out exactly how it is, and he's doing it in an honest way, right? And that's the beauty in this, you guys. You guys can do that too. And I believe that if you're out there and you're going through this process, keep going, baby girl, baby boy. I always say it. You're beautiful. You're infinite. God loves you, man. There's nothing more high vibrational than love, and that's the highest capacity. I believe that like whatever you put your mind to, you can do. And no matter what that fear that you have within you, it could be, you can always move through fear, right? Love will calm you and put you at peace. You can definitely get to a place where, you're putting your medicine out there and you're healing other people. And so getting back to the subject, so like there's a lot of moving parts of what I just told you in 20 minutes, man. I could talk for another hour, but I know I've lost 1 million people right now because of what I'm saying. But if you have stood this far on this video, I'm going to make exactly what modalities you should use or how I use it. I use water, I use my food, and I use my words. Now, I believe this, you guys. Everything is magic at the end of the day. How could it not be? You're literally made of stardust. You're literally made of the cosmic energy, right? And what I mean by that is we don't even, so like you and I do, like if someone asks me, Eddie, how does the heart work? I mean, I can give them an overall picture, but like I don't literally know how it works. It's working without my knowledge. So there's more going on with us as human beings than meets the eyes, right? I only know the surface right now. Now I know more because of whatever, but what I'm trying to tell you is that like there's more to this, right? So I think that that's a good breakdown of not only my processes, but also do your own research. If you don't like some of the things that I've said to you, don't go for it, right? Figure out your own process. This whole thing isn't to talk down to you or tell you how to do it. I'm just giving you an idea of how it works for me. And not all of us work the same way. That's why I'm saying it's like you can get 30 people in a room and not everyone's going to do it the same way. It's just that it doesn't work that way, right? So don't limit yourself, right? Another thing is this, you guys, and this is what the whole video is going to be about, but like it turned into something else, which is okay. In the next video, I'll teach about it. But how my looks, how my physical body, my face, my hair, my eyes, the color of the pigments that are in my body have changed. And it's because of the words that I use with coming out of my mouth, right? So that's why I'm saying that that power is something more. Also, I didn't even get a chance to talk about Lionsgate. Today's a beautiful day. Open yourself up to do a meditation on Lionsgate. It is, when I would talk about abundance, and that is something that you should do. But open yourself up to that portal, because I believe that that we need to raise the Earth's vibration, as well as other people on planet Earth. So if you have a chance to visualize, make energetic balls, send that out to people or send it out to the collective, I think that would be a good thing to do, and not just for personal profit, but also as a profit for other people, right? And that's the whole thing with manifestation. It's about a give and receive process. So that goes back to that concept of the pendulum swift, right? Or the swing. You give it out and it comes back in. There's always that back and forth rhythm, right? There's so much that I want to talk about, but I feel like I'm going to lose so many people because it's so long. But you know what? I'm going to keep going. Forget it. I also, you guys, energetically, you don't have to use. I've been steering away from using like magic, and what I mean by magic is like the witchcraft. I don't think that there's anything wrong with witchcraft, you guys. I'm going to say it right here, right now. But it depends on how you use it. And you got to be careful, because everything that you do within that realm, you got to think about it like this, you guys. This is why I have such a strong opinion about this. I read the Bible and I believe in it. I believe in like the book of Enoch, right? Like there's a reason why we have magic on planet Earth right now. And it's because of a system of higher beings that gave us that knowledge. So I'm telling you, that with that knowledge that comes great responsibility and great power. Now I know it's like that's a Spider-Man freaking teaching, but what I'm telling you is this: it's important to know that anything that you do within that realm, there's a give and take process. That's why when you use, so look at, I only use this in the terms of, if I have to use that, I use it only for candle magic, right? I don't go any further than that. I like herbs, not marijuana. I'm talking about like different types of herbs, for healing modality, but I don't use it I don't use that for spell work at all. I think that whenever you put something out there, whenever you ask for something, you have to give something. That's the part of the process. So, I know that, like, I've read about it, you guys. It's like, I know that there's people out there that, and I have nothing against you. I'm not saying what you're doing is wrong, but I do think this: if you're messing with someone else's free will, you are inevitably doing something that is going to affect you, and it's going to affect you just in the same capacity that you put out. It's only a matter of time. And if you don't get affected within this earth incarnation, you will be affected in the next one, or your kids will be affected. Somehow it's gonna be back into your life. It never goes away. It's always energetically there. It's always a buildup of it, right? And so, like, that's the problem with it, you guys. It's like, it's the same thing as lying. You ever notice when you lie, you gotta lie again, and then you gotta cover up another lie, right? It's the same thing with that. I call it like the low vibrational spell work that people use, and it's, you know, whether you want to call it dark arts, or you want to talk about it as black magic, or whatever, or voodoo, or whatever those people do out there, right? I'm just telling you that, like, when you call upon other spiritual beings or entities, and you ask them to do your will, they're going to ask for something back from you. Are you willing to give that back, or are you able to give that back? And if you're not, they're going to take something from you. And that's your vital force, you guys. So this is a dangerous place to be at. And one thing is this: is if you're doing one spell against someone's free will, and then usually it's a process of like lack, right? Like, these people want something from that person, whether it's drawing in energy, whether it's manipulating a situation, whatever the case is. Or love spells, or whatever the hell these people do. They're always having to do more work and more work and more work and more work. What, you know, the thing is that they say this is, man, like, the devil's smarter than you, man. Like, that energy is way smarter than you. You can't outsmart him. He's smarter than all of us. He was literally, if you think about it like this, you guys, is like, this is why you don't mess around with it. This is why, who's the one and only person that you can talk to that can save you from anything? God, the source. He is the source. So if you have a relationship with God, he will protect you. You guys, if you come from his family, which some of us on planet Earth do, you're protected even more so. So and that's what you have to be careful for too. You don't know who you're doing that work to. You might just be messing with Mayat's children. You might be messing with Elohim's children. You might be messing with, you know what I mean? It's like, be careful. You don't know. And if you do know, you know what's coming. That's why I say you got to be careful. Be careful with what you're putting out there. I mean, there's people out there. That's why I'm saying it's like, that's the problem, you know, with a lot of this. And look at, if you're out there and you can believe in this black magic stuff, and you can't believe in God, that's the problem. That's egotistical. That's the ego. That's the pride. That's your mind implanted within you so strongly, so programmed within you that you're having difficulties even getting to the source. You guys, there's more to this. More to it. If God's angels can't play with other people's free will, what makes you think that you can? you're going to have to pay for it one way or another. And probably ask yourself, it makes me laugh, man. People get scared of people talking about this stuff. You educate yourself. Educate yourself on the good and the bad. If someone else is using that type of work against you, should you not know about it? Yes. So you can protect yourself from it. I can specifically ask God, this person's doing this, and this to me. Can you please anoint me, help me? And that's, you guys, that's what I'm trying to get the word across to you, is that if you ask God, God will give. He always gives, especially within this realm. Don't be afraid. God, the devil's already been defeated. Think about it like that, you guys. What did Archangel Michael do? He submitted to Archangel Michael, right? That means God didn't even have to fight the battle. His angel did. That's how infinite God is, right? And so if the devil's already been in submission, the devil doesn't even, you guys realize this? Is you got to be careful with what you're using, who you're calling upon out there. You want to know why? Because the devil doesn't have control of all those dark entities. I'll tell you that right now. He's not strong enough. He's not strong enough. Be careful with what you play with. I know it turned into a warning, but like, I see and hear so much about the manipulation of this process right now. And you guys, I'm calling it right now, man. Everything that's been done in the dark will come to the light. So I implore you to, I know it's like you want to save your own ass at this point, and you probably should, but the way that you do that is you repent, you admit to what you've done, and then you go from a place of taking it on the chin, and then after that, then you get into a place of like where the process actually starts. You guys, I know this process because I've been there. I wasn't doing black magic, but think about it like this, you guys. If I was drinking alcohol and doing drugs, I was hitting other dimensions. You have to be. You call on spirits to vacate the body, or to vacate the body when you're drinking or when you're doing drugs, because you're not your normal self when you're doing those things. So you're inviting other energies within you, and that is magic at the end of the day. So it's a form of it anyways. So you don't necessarily have to be there with the freaking witch's gruel bowl and be calling on whatever. I mean, we're utilizing magic all the time. I just explained the process to you. Your mouth, your words are everything. What you think about is everything. Everything is energetic. That's all I got on this subject, you guys. I went a little bit on a tangent, but my mind, man, I did a meditation for the Lion's Gate, and man, I just activated so much more, and I feel rejuvenated. So yeah, I put that out there as well, you guys. It's like, even if you catch this video later on, you still have access to this portal. It's always there. It's always there, always waiting for you. All you have to do is put the intention of 8/8/2021. This portal, open myself up to this energy, and we'll all be there. Everyone who's activated and meditated, the energy is already there waiting for you. The codes, the activations, the light. You guys, that's all I got right now. In the next 2 or 3 videos, I'm going to talk about, like I said, manifesting, or not manifesting, but manifesting, but how healing your body, your mind, your soul, and actually your appearance will change as well because of these different techniques that I use. But I love you guys so much. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Give me a thumbs up. I love you, and yeah, man, I'll catch you guys on the next videos. All right.